Hi everyone, my name is Steph Wild and today we're going to learn how to stretch our hamstrings so that we can achieve the splits. Now doing the splits can take a lot of time and practice, but over the 3 videos that I'll be showing you, including this one, I'm going to show you how you can get there with practice, patience and a bit of hard work. First of all, you may want to check out my first video, which is all about hip flexor flexibility. And now we'll move on to hamstring flexibility. So let's begin standing at the top end of your yoga mat if you have one. And just start with your feet in a parallel position and your feet hip distance apart. Start by standing up nice and tall, and we're going to move into a forward fold with bent knees. So I want you to bend your knees and just simply start to pull your body down over your legs. Breathing deeply. I want you to bend your knees as much as you need to get your thighs to connect with your chest. See if you can drop your head so the back of your neck is nice and long, and let go of any tension you may be holding. Breathing is super important when you're stretching. If you can learn to breathe slowly, deeply, and calmly, your body will be able to relax deeper into your stretches. A common misconception is that forward folds need to be done with straight legs, and this just isn't the case. It's really important that you start with bent knees, and then over time you might be able to start to lengthen and straighten them. So see if you can start to straighten your legs a little bit now, and maybe your chest does come away from your thighs a little bit. Bend your knees again, and then start to lengthen your legs. And if you can straighten your legs, see if you can start to tilt your tailbone up towards the sky. Maybe you want to grab a hold of your ankles here and really squeeze your elbows in by your calves, and as you start to straighten your legs, you can draw your head down towards your shins. Play around also with taking your weight forwards into your toes and back into your heels, and you'll feel the stretch move into different places. And once again, please feel free to keep your knees bent, especially as we start to learn forward folds. So hamstring flexibility is a really important element in doing the splits, and we want to work on this quite a bit. We want to feel nice and open through the back of the legs, the hamstrings, and the calves as well. All right, I want you to bend your knees as much as you need to connect your hands firmly with the mat. Spread your fingers out nice and wide and just step your legs back. We're finding a 4-point kneeling position. I want you to have your hands directly underneath your shoulders and your knees directly underneath your hips, so not too far away and not too close either. From here, wrap the pointy bits of your elbows back towards your body so that your elbow creases can shine forwards. Tuck your toes under, push firmly through your arms, and we're lifting up into downward facing dog. Another beautiful stretch for your hamstrings. In downward dog, you can bend one knee and press the opposite heel down, and then alternate to the other side. And I want you to push really firmly here through your arms. May as well get some arm strengthening work done while we're at our hamstring stretching as well. Downward dog, just like the forward fold, can be performed with bent knees. We're aiming for a nice long straight spine here. What we want to avoid is rounding in the spine or over extending through the shoulders. See if you can draw your ribs in and then start to press your heels down towards the floor, and maybe then start to tilt your tailbone up towards the sky. And don't forget to breathe. All right, let's slowly make our way down onto our knees. Now, if you have yoga blocks, they may be useful for this next exercise. And I want you to grab them and just place them either side of your mat. And you can bring your hands up on top of the blocks. The blocks just bring the floor closer to you. From here, step 1 foot forwards and create a little bit of more space between your front heel and your back knee. And then from here, we're going to start to hinge our hips backwards, finding a nice lengthening through the hamstring. Once again, we're aiming to tilt our tailbone backwards. And perhaps you can then start to fold your body forwards over your leg. Bent front knee is totally fine here as well. Try to avoid your hip pointing out to the side. See if you can hug the outer hip in towards the midline and then extend from there. Maybe you might even be able to take your arms further forward. If you don't have blocks, you can place your hands on the floor. Dorsiflexing the foot so that the toes point up towards the sky is going to give you a little bit of extra stretch here as well. Take some nice deep breaths, and I like to inhale and lengthen my spine and then soften on the exhale. Let's do one more here. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Now, either with a block or without, take your hand across the foot that's in front of you, and you can place the block underneath your hand. And we're coming into a little revolved stretch here, an extra twist. See if you can start to lift your arm up towards the sky. And this one can really test your balance. Maybe you can gaze up towards your fingertips. Slowly come out of it, and we'll move into the other side. So taking that leg back and the opposite leg forwards. You want to create a little bit of space between the front heel and the back knee. If you're too close, you're going to find it really hard to extend back. So find a position that works for you, blocks or no blocks, and start to hinge your hips backwards. Remember, the front knee can be bent. It's totally fine. It's individual, and it's where you feel your stretch. Inhale, lengthen your spine long, heart forwards, and then exhale, soften down. Dorsiflexing the front toes up towards the sky. Breathing deeply. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale to fold. Try not to let your hip go out to the side either. Keep it back. When you're ready, you can try that revolved stretch here as well. We'll test your balance, taking your hand across the front foot, and then start to lift your arm up towards the sky, maybe gazing up. Deep breaths. All right, and then slowly coming out of it, let's return to our 4-point kneeling position and change legs one more time. So stepping that first foot forwards. Now we're coming up into a pyramid pose this time. Once again, you can use the blocks underneath your hands to bring the floor closer to you. I'm going to demonstrate without. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee up off the mat, and we're going to start to hinge our hips backwards and try to straighten your legs. Maybe you can dorsiflex that front foot up towards you, maybe reaching your arms forwards. Bent knees, totally fine. Wherever you feel the stretch through the back of your legs. Don't forget to breathe. And let's move into the other side, changing legs. Tucking your back toes under, lifting your back knee up and off. Start to lengthen your legs, maybe flexing the front toes up. And slowly release back onto all fours. Let's find downward facing dog again. Now another modification with downward dog is to place the blocks underneath your hands. Once again, this just brings the floor closer to you. So if you are a little tight through the hamstrings, you may find this helps you a lot. Wrap the pointy bits of your elbows back towards you, tucking your toes under, lifting up. Find nice strength here through your arms. Start to perhaps tilt your tailbone up towards the sky. From here, can you walk your hands back to your feet? Once again, bend your knees as much as you need to get your chest to connect to your thigh. Otherwise, straight legs if you prefer. And then bend your knees and slowly round up through your spine, one vertebrae at a time, all the way to stand up tall. And that concludes our hamstring flexibility session today. I hope that this helps you on your way to the splits. Make sure you do check out that previous video I've got on hip flexor flexibility and my total splits video as well. I hope you really enjoyed this session today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to do more workouts with me, head to mytxo.com. Bye for now.